Assalamualaikum, selamat petang. We're back here dalam MYHackathon Daily Updates. For those yang dah tunggu dekat depan laptop dan dengan kita punya FB Live hari ni setiap jam 6 petang, thank you very much. We wish you have a good day, a good health, and for those yang baru pertama kali menonton kita punya MYHackathon Daily Updates hari ni, terima kasih banyak-banyak. Selamat datang. Untuk pengetahuan anda semua, MYHackathon Daily Updates ini akan bersiaran setiap hari Isnin sehingga Jumaat dari jam 6 petang sehinggalah 6.30 petang. And don't forget to like and share juga Facebook Live di Cradle Fund punya page so that we can spread positivity and beneficial knowledge to many people out there. So, I will talk about a little bit highlight dulu about our MYHackathon is that now both location, MYHackathon Kuala Lumpur dan juga MYHackathon Kuala Terengganu, kita dah umumkan shortlisted participant. So once our CMCO lifted, we will continue to brush them up dalam bootcamp dan seterusnya for the final pitching for their solution. So far, that's our progress for MYHackathon. But for our daily updates today, we have invited a speaker to talk about our topic today entitled How to Start an Army, Entrepreneurship Lessons from the Samurai Game. So please welcome Shaikh Shahnaz, founder of the Ripple Effect. Hello Shahnaz.
Hai. Assalamualaikum, khabar semua?
Baik. So how are you?
Terima kasih kerana menonton. Alhamdulillah semua okey, tengah duduk kat rumah sekarang ni, tak ke mana-mana pun kan. Tengah trying to honor the social distancing and work from home.
Home. Kita pun tengah work from home. So kita biasa bersiaran ni memang I pun dari home studio, you pun dekat rumah you sendiri. But anyway, you're looking good today.
Thank you very much. So do you.
I believe today is gonna be a powerful talk from you since kita akan bercakap pasal starting up an army. It's not an easy task, is it? So before we go further, I would like to highlight a little bit about our speaker today, Shaikh Shahnaz or Shahnaz. He is the first Malaysian and the 43rd in the world to be certified as an official facilitator for the Samurai Game. So it is one of the most unique, intense and challenging leadership and team building experiential simulation created by George Leonard, a pioneer in the field of human potential. Dan Shahnaz juga dah facilitate the Samurai Game untuk companies seperti Cyberview, MK Group Holdings Berhad, Time.com Berhad, Credit Bureau Malaysia, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, Rayleigh, FJ Benjamin and Low Jakarta and more. So, based on your experience dah join the Samurai Game, can you tell us a little bit about how it all started?
So the journey for me began in 2010 when saya actually went for the certification and I met with the master trainer. Masa saya sampai tu 2010 bulan Oktober. Bulan April 2010, George Leonard passed away. So I hanya sempat jumpa dia punya wife who is also part of the people who are championing and also holding the rights to the Samurai Game. So siapa yang I jumpa Mr. Lance Jeru, who was somewhat like macam my mentor lah during that time. So kenapa I was attracted to the Samurai Game? As someone who is practicing and also guiding companies and corporations with regards to culture, I noticed that one of the culture yang I rasa very very strong in this world is the cultures of the samurais once upon a time back in Japan. Diorang punya level of loyalty and honor yang diorang ada bila diorang serving diorang punya masters, I thought was really something worth looking into and also mungkin kita boleh cuba terapkan ke dalam corporate and also in the business world as well. Because ada banyak ciri-ciri ataupun nilai-nilai yang saya rasa gempak yang kita boleh ambil, nilai-nilai bagus untuk kita improve kita punya companies and also kita punya businesses as well. So that was 10 years ago lah. So alhamdulillah bawa masuk Samurai Game ni ke Malaysia and dapat quite a good number of traction from corporations and also state governments untuk take it as one of leadership punya modul yang diorang nak sampaikan kepada diorang punya barisan kepimpinan and also corporates untuk diorang punya senior leadership.
So wow, it's a nice one, I believe. So kalau I punya pendapat lah, based on your experience because this is about leadership, right? So for every organization, every startup, or every company, I personally think that a leader should have a team yang betul-betul committed, bukan sekadar tangkap muat, bukan sekadar I nak pergi kerja sebab I nak dapat duit or else aku gaji, macam tu. So apa yang leader ni perlu buat? Apa step yang boleh membantu mereka untuk membina satu team yang loyal, or in other term, a leader ni dia ada army dia sendiri.
So inilah apa yang saya nampak persamaan dia daripada kalau kita tengok daripada segi The Samurais Once Upon a Time, and also ada banyak lagi dekat seluruh dunia ni, a group of warriors atau champions, a tribe yang very very strong in their ways and also cara diorang buat benda. So I think in today's world, kalau kita tanya hampir semua owner of companies ataupun CEOs, do you want a loyal and committed army behind you? I rasa semua orang akan jawab yes. Tetapi mungkin ramai yang mungkin tak sure, how do we actually get that to happen? Now, I'm not saying that it's a guarantee, tapi saya rasa ada beberapa benda yang kita boleh practice setiap hari yang mungkin boleh mendapatkan kita a leader with that kind of army or that kind of loyal, committed soldiers behind us. Pasal kita tahu, one day bila kita punya company ataupun kita punya organisation dah besar sikit, dia memerlukan lebih ramai orang untuk besarkan dia lagi. And this is when the challenge happens a lot. Bila team tu dah membesar. So, whatever that I'm about to share with the audiences today, it applies for the ones yang ada a small company right now. You should start practicing it already. And for those yang ada organisation yang besar-besar, as a leader, I think these are a few practices yang kalau boleh cuba terapkan lah dalam your organisation so that you are able to always have a good pulse with what's going on in your army. So I think I selalu lah, because I was in this industry, I'm in this industry kan, so I selalu dengar rintihan-rintihan company owners tentang staff yang diorang ada, dan dah bagi training banyak-banyak pun tak jalan juga, and dah invest banyak, and then bila dah train gempak-gempak, lepas tu dia punya staff cari kerja lain, So I think that apart from the skills and the knowledge yang perlu ada dalam setiap pekerja, I think there is also another aspect yang kita perlu lihat lah. And that aspect bagi saya is apa nilai yang diorang percaya, what certain things yang membuat mereka rasa seronok, apa yang buat mereka rasa sedih. So all these things saya rasa is good for leaders to understand. And I thought that whatever that I learned from the samurai game and whatever that I learned from the culture of the samurais, ada beberapa benda yang I rasa kita boleh practice hari ni. We can start implementing it so that eventually the culture will start to change according to how we want it to be.
So is there any steps yang leader ni boleh apply dekat orang punya employee or team so that can be loyal to this?
So of course bab leadership ni I will not touch today. So my assumption ialah setiap orang yang nak practice ni, you are already improving yourself as a leader. So that is the most important part lah for me, to improve yourself as a leader. Now the 6 steps, ada 6 steps semua sekali yang saya rasa the leaders can practice. 3 of the steps has a lot to do with them personally, and the other 3 steps have a lot to do with diorang punya army atau diorang punya team. Ya. So the first 3 dulu kita sebut. Yang number 1, saya rasa benda ni memang amat penting untuk setiap leader of an organisation, is to have one person or a group of people that is very, very close to you, that you can trust them 100% with regards to the company. So apa yang saya maksudkan kat sini ialah, you see the breakdown in communication or the breakdown in trust happens bila ada sesuatu yang berlaku dengan your team, tapi diorang tak bagi tahu kat you. And that is when a lot of breakdown starts to happen. Sebagai contoh, dalam today's world, ada banyak yang berlaku, staff semua atau team dia dah buka satu WhatsApp group yang boss dia tak ada. You know what I mean? So there is already a gap. So bagi saya, it's always good for the leader to have at least one person in your team who is completely loyal to you.
Yes.
Maksudnya kalau ada apa-apa drama yang sedang berlaku dengan your team atau ada pertelingkahan faham ke apa ke, you would be the first person to know rather than the last person to know.
Yep.
And your team does not need to know that this person is your most trusted loyal soldier. Tak perlu. This is just between you and the apa orang cakap ni, I panggil dia the guardian lah. This is your guardian. So apa-apa yang berlaku dalam your company ni, your guardian it will tell you what's going on. Okay? So that bila issue tu sampai kat you, you're not the last person to know. So number 1, have a guardian, one person. Some people have diorang punya, and this person tak semestinya dia punya hierarchy dia atau dia punya rank dia kena tinggi. For some people, dia punya in their organisation, the guardian ni is actually the wife. Ataupun for some people yang dah besar sikit, the guardian ni is actually the driver.
Yeah.
So dia tak semestinya dia pegang watak yang paling penting dalam the team. Tapi this person, you can trust this person 100%. So that one is number 1.
Yep.
Yang kedua, you need to have a second in command. Now, bila I cakap pasal second in command ni, most of the time people think that it's just appointing a vice president ataupun deputy CEO ataupun GM dan sebagainya.
Timbalan
kan. Lepas tu dia biar timbalan dia buat apa yang timbalan dia nak buat dan sebagainya. But I think personally for me, your second in command ni is a very important person untuk you groom dan you latih setiap hari. Because sebagai seorang leader, kalau ada setahun 365 hari tu, mungkinlah half of that is you travelling lah, pergi tempat lain lah, ada meetings dekat other places, then you tak boleh physically berada dekat your company.
Yep.
Now, this is a lot of breakdowns that happens bila the second in command take over. The second in command goes into crisis mode. Pasal panic. Pasal sebelum ni semua benda owner yang buat atau boss yang buat. Tiba-tiba bos dah tak ada, aku kena ambil alih, tiba-tiba dia jam sekejap. Pasal dia tak biasa dengan apa decisions ataupun the thinking of the owner.
Yep. The leader.
Correct.
Thinking punya pattern, decision yang selalu lah. Yep.
Exactly. So saya sarankan for any leader of a team right now, I'm sure you dah ada dah your vice president ataupun your deputy ni. Tapi get your deputy to be more involved in your decision making, your strategy, your thinking, supaya nanti bila you tak ada, dia boleh buat kerja.
Yep.
Dia boleh lead. So I notice ada banyak companies yang separatekan dia punya CEO dengan deputy CEO dia. Macam CEO buat something, deputy CEO buat benda lain.
Yeah.
So bila the time happens when the CEO tak ada, deputy naik, dia start kucak-kacir sikit.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's very important for that to happen.
Yeah.
Now, this is the third one. First one is someone that you trust, your guardian angel lah dalam your company. Yang kedua is your second in command. So make sure your deputy ni is someone that you train and you groom to think like you. Yang ketiga is to have some kind of a special ops punya team.
Special ops. Operation lah.
Special operation / your champions / these are the people that you know will always get the job done. Kalau you ada 100 orang army, at least ada 10 orang atau 5 orang yang you know kalau you hantar diorang to any projects, they will give you very little excuses and they will give you a lot of results.
Yep.
Okay? So you need to have this group. Now, the reason why you need to have this group is because this group will inspire the rest. You nak biar diorang rasa macam diorang ni your pride. Diorang ada diorang punya special team together, diorang ada diorang punya privileges yang diorang enjoy, tapi diorang gempak. So that the rest of the people can see that, okay, kalau aku jadi gempak, kalau aku jadi terror, aku boleh join team tu. And once I join that team tu, aku dah macam, yeah, you know what, we are one of the champions in this company. So I think that is very, very important. So the first 3 things, leaders, number 1, your guardian angel, someone you can trust to tell you everything that's going on in the company and your team. Yang kedua is your second in command. Make sure your second in command is also groomed to think like how you think so that he can make decisions like how you make. Dan yang ketiga is to have the special ops team, champions, your greatest, your best and brightest, supaya orang lain boleh get inspired that this is the good ones in the company. Okay.
Before we move on to the fourth step, so ada tak contoh company in the world yang ada very competent person yang boleh replace the leader? Any example lah?
If I remember correctly, when I read the book about Steve Jobs, I think that was one of the things that Steve Jobs did before he left or before he passed on. He actually appointed a second in command, which is Tim Cook, the existing CEO of Apple right now. Tapi lama dia duduk dengan Tim Cook, dia discuss, dia tunjuk, dia ajar. Of course, in that process tu, macam-macam yang Tim Cook dapat tanya kepada Steve Jobs, so that the legacy continues. And based on results, ada certain things yang dah bertukar dekat Apple culturally, tapi dia punya the heart of Apple is still pretty much the same, like how Steve Jobs started it. And that is because I think dia punya person who replaced him really knew and understood Steve Jobs punya vision and apa culture yang dia nak kat Apple. So I think that would be a very clear example to see.
So move on to the next.
Okay, so the next one, yang keempat. I noticed that leaders ni bila team dia dah berkembang, after a while, the leader doesn't get to interact with the staff anymore. Or the newcomer. You know what I mean?
So, company dah besar and the staff pun dah makin banyak. But that doesn't make an excuse for a leader, kan?
Yeah, so for me personally, I would like to invite leaders to create somewhat like an inspiring speech that you give to every single one of your team member. Now, it doesn't have to be a half-day long speech. It can be a 15-minute speech. Tapi you know for a fact that every single person who have entered your organization have gone through that 15-minute speech by you. And it's from you. It's not from a video. It's not from, a recording. It's live and it's coming from you. Now, why do I say this? Because as a person who just joined your organization, lantaklah dia punya ranking dia apa atau position dia apa. Daripada driver ke, tea lady ke, GM ke apa ke. The first day is the most lost punya day. Tak tahu nak buat apa, tak tahu nak gimana, siapa ni, siapa tu dan sebagainya. And you tak tahu pun sama ada the owner of the company sedar tak yang you ada, that you exist. So I think bila the owner of the company comes down and speaks to this person personally, orang ni akan rasa betul-betul bangga. And this is what in English there's a saying, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. So kalau ada apa-apa benda yang you dengar pasal company ni, you're hearing it from the founder himself. So the rest have no excuse untuk bagi cerita lain. Kalau dia orang bagi cerita lain, you boleh bagi tahu kat dia orang. Tapi baru tadi saya cakap dengan founder cakap macam ni.
Yes.
And that I think instills a lot of pride in people when they are working for you, because diorang tahu that the owner is approachable that way.
Yep.
Kan macam orang kita senang je, orang yang first hulur tangan untuk bersalam. It shouldn't be the staff, it should be the leader.
Yes.
The leader yang hulurkan tangan dulu. I think it makes a huge difference for people.
Betul.
Itu yang keempat. Alright. Yang kelima, and this I notice, yang kelima ni I notice banyak military organizations around the world, kan, diorang ada this yang kelima ni, which is to actually create a unique ceremony or a ritual, upacara yang only unique dengan you punya company saja.
Yep.
So orang akan rasa they are part of something. So katakanlah sebagai contoh, sekarang ni in today's world, bila a staff kerja dengan you, dia orang kena go through 3 months probation. Dan habis probation tu 3 months, you akan sama ada dapat an extended probation ataupun you dapat confirmation.
Yep.
And most of the time the confirmation is you akan berborak dengan you punya supervisor, ataupun kalau company yang besar dan sibuk sentiasa, you akan dapat surat je.
Confirmation letter sahaja.
Confirmation letter sahaja. And that's it. The confirmation letter is so important because the confirmation letter tells you that you are part of this organisation. Tapi I rasa kalau you dapat surat je, dia punya experience dia lain tau.
Dia punya feeling tu lain.
So macam imagine kita masa kat sekolah dulu ke, ataupun kat asrama ke, atau in any military organizations, setiap kali you graduate ataupun you lepas satu tahap, there is something yang you kena buat to tell yourself that I am part of this army, you know. Kadang-kadang orang suruh berlari sampai muntah lah, kan. Sometimes military buat macam tu. Ataupun certain people yang letak a feast depan diorang, so diorang makan sama-sama and then cerita, tak ada siapa boleh cerita pasal kerja, for example, you know. Ataupun ada setengah tu yang macam bila dia confirm, this one I dah dengar a leader actually does this. Everyone yang dah confirm kena pergi rumah dia makan.
Oh, that's a nice one.
It's a one-on-one tau. Dia bukannya satu group ramai-ramai, it's a one-on-one. So that means untuk leader tu, confirmation bermaksud I have welcomed you in my life, so I shall welcome you in my house.
So the ada rasa pride lah founder ataupun bos sendiri tahu yang jemput I makan kat rumah dia, macam tu lah.
Yes. So kalau ada yang senior-senior dalam your company tu yang dah tahu yang you nak habis dah you punya probation tu, dia orang akan cakap, lepas ni you kena ajak pergi rumah bos ni.
Betul.
So there's something to look forward to, and it is special. Tak ada orang lain buat. You punya session dengan you punya CEO punya session is special. No one is the same, you know. Ataupun macam kalau you tengok big organizations, macam in the UK, kalau you dapat jadi you get your knighthood. Maknanya you kena menghadap the queen, and the queen akan letak pedang dekat dua belah bahu you to announce that you are now a knight. So ritual ni I rasa is penting untuk organizations to have, ataupun kita punya team to have, so that again the team feels that they are belonging to a culture yang unique and dia orang rasa seronok. So kalau you nak for the rest, if you want to find out companies yang ada these rituals. Macam sebagai contoh yang setahu saya yang ada macam Zappos. Zappos is one company yang ada rituals macam ni. Netflix pun ada dia punya rituals dia. So and looks like bila diorang ada these steps, the company punya culture ni orang seronok, orang excited.
Betul.
Yes. So itu yang kelima kan?
5.
And the last one is simple. Macam mana-mana team sukan, you notice that diorang punya players, they are practicing and they are training every single day. So bagi saya, the 6th step is to always organize and train your army. Every opportunity yang you ada. Kerana bila you organize and you train them sentiasa, they will grow. Tetapi kebanyakan companies, dia punya kesilapan ni, kan kita bagi 6 step tadi kan? Dia orang jump straight ke the last step. Terus orang aku ni tak pandai lah, aku kena hantar diorang training lah. So hantar diorang training kan. And then dah hantar diorang training setahun pun tak dapat lagi kan. Lepas tu tak tahu nak buat apa dah. And then stress. Padahal step 1 sampai step 5 tu dia tak buat apa-apa pun lagi.
Yep.
So I think let's get the relationship to be strong first. Let's get the culture to be strong first. Lepas tu baru kita fikir how do we actually make them better every day. So yes, those are the 6 steps yang saya rasa if you're a startup right now, baru nak build your team, start now and make it into a practice.
The 6 step actually kalau based on my apa yang saya dah dengar daripada Shahnaz sebentar tadi, the essence of a great team, a great army for a leader is the sense of belonging.
Yes. Loyalty.
Yes, loyalty. Nilai-nilai loyalty kepada leaders, so that they will ada dengan the leaders, masa susah, masa senang, they will commit to your matlamat company.
And loyalty requires time and they require a lot of practice. Practice of conversations, practice of being honest with each other, you know. So it's not just a one-time thing, it's always a continuous effort. So you're right. I think loyalty and commitment to each other itu penting.
So I have one question in my mind right now.
Okay.
So since sekarang kita PKPB, so we all work from home. Probably ini akan jadi our new norms untuk seketika masa lagi lah sebelum kita jumpa the vaccine and penawar untuk pandemic COVID-19. So but sometimes working from home ni juga boleh jadi issue between the leaders and juga the employee, where they have to work remotely. Contohnya macam trust issues, ada task yang mesti jumpa juga baru boleh discuss and solve. So at your end, what is your recommendations or advices for leaders to keep their team on track and juga motivated at the same time?
Okay. Kita kena pandang dia from a cultural perspective. Sekarang ni memang orang rasa maybe a bit awkward, aku tahu kadang-kadang macam a bit challenging pasal dulu kita jumpa tiap hari kat office. Sekarang kita tak jumpa tiap hari kat office. Now the gap is that apa yang kita tak biasa buat is kita tak biasa call staff kita tiap hari. Kita tak biasa face to face online tiap hari. So it is just a matter of getting used to it. Sama juga macam building culture, it just requires practice every day and then eventually tiba-tiba dia akan jadi culture. I think right now some of the challenges maybe orang feel a bit frustrated pasal you try buat and banyak. I know a lot of leaders who have tried. Mereka dah try, mereka cakap tak boleh Shahnaz, aku tak biasa dengan benda ni. Betul. Honestly for me pun kadang-kadang I pun rasa a bit awkward and then rasa tak selesa. But I think it's just a matter of pushing it lah. Buat je lah. And you will not get it right. You will not get it right the first time. You akan, staff ni mungkin akan complain kenapa bos aku asyik nak call aku je, nak zoom lah dan sebagainya. All that will happen. But eventually I rasa we'll get used to it. Macam once upon a time orang tak biasa kerja tiap hari daripada 9 AM to 6 PM kan. And then now orang dah biasa. So it's just sabar, embrace the failures, embrace the frustration, tapi keep going on it lah. I pun rasa I'm reminding myself on that too.
So since everyone memang work from home, so what we can do right now is just deal with it and just biasakan diri lah.
So macam I dengar in the first few months of MCO, bulan April, bulan Mei, bulan Jun kan, first few months tu, I dengar ramai orang komplain cakap aku tak boleh lah pakai mask ni, tak selesa lah, you know, it's weird lah, it's susah lah. Tapi sekarang ni I rasa dah tak ada orang komplain lah.
Betul. Sebab dah jadi kebiasaan.
Correct.
keluar pakai mask pun dah keluar tak pakai mask pun dah rasa pelik tak pakai.
Yes. Rasa gelisah macam yeah. So I think sometimes it just requires some time lah. And we have to continuously forgive ourselves for all the mistakes yang kita buat awal-awal ni. Macam how we forgive kids when they make mistakes, kan?
Yes.
Yeah. So kita pun macam infancy stage lagi ni.
Betul. So kita punya Facebook Live dekat section komen pun ada soalan juga daripada Ben Ong. Is sense of belonging the main feature of samurai mode of leadership champions in a scientific management of a controlled group with bottom-up style?
Boleh ulang tak? Tak faham soalan ni.
Dia punya soalan
I cuba nak faham.
agak panjang lah. Okay, I will pecahkan lah. Is sense of belonging the main feature of samurai mode of leadership champions in a scientific management of a control group with bottom-up style?
Yes, ada banyak cabang dekat dia punya soalan tu. But I'm hearing what he's saying is a sense of belonging, one of the most important things to have to build champions in your company. No, it isn't. But I'm basing it on building an army. And I believe bila part building an army would serve a lot more effectively when they know what they are fighting for.
Yep.
So a sense of belonging ni for me is not that you love the company, but you know what you're fighting for.
Yep.
And you feel that segala apa yang the leader of the company wants to fight for, you can agree to that. And I can follow this. So I think for me, I define sense of belonging to be like that. So dalam corporate terms, orang selalunya tanya, leader tu vision dia apa? Apa yang dia nak? Apa visi dia? And that is the sense of belonging. Bukannya pakai baju sama, bukannya pasal kita kena cakap cara yang sama. It's not so much about that. But you know we are fighting for the same thing. And I think the second part of the question is about top down or bottoms up.
Yep.
Bottoms up. So kalau sebagai contoh kita ambil daripada the Samurais kan. Samurais ni is a bit different lah because dia punya leader is macam kalau leader dia suruh you buat something, dia akan confirm dia akan buat. So it's very different. But kat sini I think seperti I cakap tadi, my assumption is all the leaders are already improving themselves. I think that's also important. So kalau nak cakap, can the organisation change kalau leader tak change, tapi you nak orang bawah semua change, will that work or not? I don't think so. You will not get loyal soldiers. What you will get is soldiers yang akan datang kerja untuk you.
Yep.
I don't think the loyal soldiers can be like that. Loyal soldiers ni dia require leader yang dia boleh ikut. Dia boleh get loyalty, from the leader lah.
Yep.
So I tak tahu sama ada yang jawab soalan dia ke tidak.
Okay, dia ada elaborate juga common direction.
Yes, common direction.
Yes.
Common vision. Yes. That is very important.
Okay.
Macam I know of this leader of a company or an organisation. Nama organisation dia adalah Epic Homes. And masa diorang baru start Epic Homes ni, apa yang diorang buat ialah diorang buat rumah.
Okay.
Diorang buat rumah untuk orang-orang yang tak boleh ada rumah ataupun yang tak ada rumah, yang tak mampu. Orang asli dan sebagainya. And they go there and they build houses. I ingat lagi masa team dia ada 5 orang je. 2 orang founder, lagi 3 orang kawan-kawan. Right now, they are building hundreds of houses, I think, in one day, every day.
Wow, in one day?
Every day.
Every day, okay.
And corporations are working with them untuk have their team, their punya staff, untuk go and experience building a house with Epic Homes. Now they have an army. because dia punya vision and dia punya common direction dia power. We don't want anyone to be homeless, so we want to build houses for people.
Oh,
And
okay.
kita buat sendiri, bukannya kita upah orang. Kita sendiri akan turun, kita akan paku, kita akan gergaji kayu tu dan sebagainya.
Betul?
And I think after a few years, the army just grew because orang rasa the vision is great, leader dia pun enthusiastic, still very passionate, and orang yang join organisation dia still feel that the common direction is still something that we are fighting for.
Yeah. So the other question, I guess, what is the samurai game? I think kita dah jelaskan at the very first, very early of the daily session, which is it is leadership and team building experiential simulation, betul?
So okay, untuk jawab soalan dia, for an organisation, yes, it does a lot of team punya creation. It speaks about what sort of communication level does the team have with each other right now, all that lah. Tapi at a personal level, I think, and this is very, very important, after many, many years of doing personal growth and personal development work, we always focus on the values that we have. Macam bila you tanya a group of people, how many of you are responsible? Ramai akan cakap they are responsible. How many of you are loyal? Ramai akan cakap they are loyal. Tetapi one question that we sometimes don't ask ourselves is, at which point does loyalty disappear from us?
Yep.
At which point does responsibility stop for us? At which point are we going to be accountable?
Yep.
So mungkin kalau you tengok in the corporations right now, ramai orang bila you tanya, are they accountable? Yes, they are accountable. Tapi kalau ada duit kena curi, aku tak accountable lah. Because kalau aku accountable, maknanya aku kena bayar balik duit yang rugi tu. So the accountability stops at aku akan accountable selagi tak guna duit aku.
Yep.
So the question that made me get involved with the samurai game is, kita selalu tanya orang tu ada nilai ke tidak, tapi kita tak pernah tanya atau tak selalu tanya nilai tu berhenti dekat mana.
Yep.
And that is also important to know.
Yep.
Itulah limit orang.
Okay.
So yes, one of the reasons publicly, because it builds your team. Personally, it's also something for you to go through as a journey in life.
So if the audiences want to know more about the samurai game, they can go to link http www.samuraigame.org. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So the last session, kita nak closing ni, so kita dah 6:30. I would like to ask a very light punya question lah, lightning round. Kita katakan ni is lightning round. What is your favorite way to spend the day?
I think for me personally is when I feel like the parts of my life are involved or are active. So for example, family.
Yep.
Yes, I got to spend some time with my kids, I got to spend some time with my wife, we spoke about something nice or something meaningful today. That would be a win for me. And on top of that, at work pun, it might not be a lot of things that I've done, but I've done one or two things that I felt really made a difference or made an impact. Yeah. And I feel like I still have energy to go back home and put a smile on my kids' face before they go to bed. So I think these are the things that generally makes me feel like my day is fulfilled lah.
Yeah. So, dengar you cakap like you spend, although all day you dah kerja, but balik tengok spend time with wife, it is something that really, really need a committed person to do it.
Yeah. As sedaya upaya saya cubalah kan. There are a few days yang we miss kan, macam tiba-tiba balik macam stress dia terlampau kan. I'm sure we have those days, but generally as much as possible it would be nice to end the day appreciating each other.
Appreciate, yes. With a smile lah. End the day with
Exactly. Exactly.
That's all for today. Thank you Shahnaz atas perkongsian yang berkenaan topik kita hari ini, which is entrepreneurship lessons from the samurai game, atau specifically how a leader can build a loyal team or a loyal army. So jangan lupa juga untuk head on ke Shahnaz punya webpage, which is www.shaikhshahnaz SHAIKH to know about his latest project. Dia pun ada juga buat podcast related to leaderships, sharing dan juga experiences entitled Shaking Things Up, Why I Created, and banyak lagi. So thank you so much Shahnaz.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here, and thank you Cradle and also MYHackathon for organizing this. I really appreciate it.
Yep. So anda semua juga jangan lupa untuk kekal bersama dengan MYHackathon Daily Update seperti biasa esok pada jam 6 petang di Facebook Live Cradle Fun. Jangan lupa juga untuk melalui laman sesawang MYHackathon di www.myhackathon.gov.my untuk perkembangan terkini. Time to digitalize, streamline, simplify and disrupt government delivery. Itu saja. Stay safe. Jumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum. Bye.